Let's look at this example. So Guillermo bought textbooks and notebooks at the bookstore. The number of textbooks was three more than twice the number of notebooks. He bought 7 textbooks. How many notebooks did he buy? So let's try and break this whole problem down. So it looks like we are dealing with textbooks and notebooks. So maybe we can let the letter T be the variable that stands for the number of textbooks, and N to be the variable that stands for the number of notebooks. So let's let um, T equal, let's say the number of textbooks, and N equal the number of notebooks. All right. So here, let's see here. It says that Guillermo bought 7 textbooks. So we know that the number of textbooks that were bought is equal to 7. All right, so that looks like a good piece of information here. Then it also says the number of textbooks, okay, so that's T, was, so was can be interpreted as equals 3 more than, which I interpret as being plus 3. So 3 more than twice, which is 2, the number of notebooks, N. So what we're getting here is we're getting an equation in this sentence that's equating T being equal to twice the number of notebooks plus 3. All right, so let's take a look here. So what we're getting is we're getting the number of textbooks, T, was, so here twice the number of notebooks plus 3. Okay, and so here we've got one equation. Now, in the, generally, if you've got one equation and 2 unknowns, then you're going to need 2 equations to find solutions for 2 unknowns. But what's kind of unique about this problem is that we already know the value of one of these variables. We have a solution for one of these variables already. So when we go to substitute 7 in for T into this equation, then that's going to leave us with one equation and one unknown, which will be N. And with one equation and one unknown, we can get one solution, no problem. So this is going to be okay. Okay, so down here at the bottom, it says how many notebooks will he buy? We're trying to solve for N, the number of notebooks. All right, so let's look at our expectations. So one of our expectations is that we expect the number of notebooks to be greater than or equal to 0, okay, which would be 0 or a positive number. You can't have a negative number of textbooks. I'm sorry, negative number of notebooks. So that's good to know. And we can also expect the number of textbooks to be greater than the number of notebooks. So, T all by itself is greater than n, because at the very least, n needs to be doubled to get close to the size of t. So this equation here is kind of informing us that the number of textbooks, t, is greater than the number of notebooks. So these are a couple of expectations that we can expect our answer to look like. And we'll check that later when we actually solve for n. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at our equation. T equals 2n plus 3, and t is equal to 7. So if we let t equal 7, then we can just substitute 7 for t. And let's subtract 3 from both sides. Divide both sides by 2. And n is equal to 2. So let's check our solution of n equals 2 compared to our expectations. So our first expectation, that n is greater than or equal to 0. Check off there. And the other expectation, that the number of textbooks is greater than the number of notebooks. Well, the number of textbooks was 7. And is 7 greater than 2? Sure is. Okay. So, I have some reasons to feel confident about this answer because it's fitting our expectations. And so the question is, how many notebooks did Guillermo buy? So now we can write our answer as a sentence. Guillermo bought 2 notebooks. Okay, there we go. This one was a little bit more straightforward than some of the others.